Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. So in the next couple of weeks I am planning on doing a complete overhaul and makeover of our spare bedroom, which is in a pretty sad state right now. In the last couple of months it's just become this sort of dumping ground, like clean the apartment, shove everything in that room and close the door and forget about it. So it's really bad, and we have company coming over soon, so gotta make it pretty. And I'm gonna do a whole makeover of this space. I've never really been happy with it since we've moved in. So I am going to take today as an opportunity to kind of test out a few different techniques that I've been seeing online. It was macenna and the LoneFox who I saw do punch needle, and I thought it looked really cool and I want to make some pillows with that. So I'm going to show you that technique today, and also another kind of way that you can use thrifted items to create beautiful pillows. But make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I'm going to show the whole makeover process on some upcoming videos. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're not already subscribed. I don't want you to miss out on any of those videos. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and on Twitter at Janelle Steeper. You can kind of get a little sneak peek into some of the things that I'm working on or doing, and of course you can connect with me there. So let's get into the DIY.
So I'm going to start off with the hard project. This is just a bunch of different yarn. I've actually mostly been collecting from the thrift store. It's great when you can find yarn there that works for your colors. It's super cheap. I've got something called monk's cloth. It's necessary for this project. And then this is just an old canvas frame. Rip off the canvas and we're going to reuse the wooden frame. So this is because I'm doing a larger scale project. You will have to do this as well if you're making a bigger project. I'm using my staple gun to staple the monk's cloth in and try and make that as tight as possible. So the last thing I did buy was this punch needle kit from Amazon. I think it was around $15. Unfortunately, it came with all of these pieces to, make a whole thing, but all I really needed was this tool right here. This is the punch needle tool. So yeah, it was just cheaper to buy it that way, and I probably will just re-gift it to my niece or something like that. But once you have everything kind of ready, we're gonna go ahead and draw whatever design you want, and then you're going to thread your needle. I had directions included in mine. It's pretty easy. The yarn comes through the bottom, out the top, and then out this little tiny hole that is built into the back of the needle. So once it's threaded, go ahead, punch through, pull that extra strand of the yarn through the back side, and I have my other hand on the underside of this piece to kind of catch the yarn and the loops that are happening down there. Move slowly at first, of course, but once you get the hang of this, you really can move along quite quickly. You don't want to make these stitches very wide. I found when you did it tighter, it gave a more desired look, covering up all the material, and then I just worked around and around and around into the center of my circles. So here's what it looks like on the opposite side. Two totally different textures. This is obviously big loops, quite a lot looser. On the other side, it's going to be tight. So you can flip this back and forth as you're doing it if you want a variation of tight and loose sections on your piece. I literally sat down for 2 afternoons and evenings working on this. It did take quite a few hours, but I will say that once you kind of get going, it goes quite easily. Make sure your yarn is the proper thickness. This red yarn was almost a little too thick, so I really had to hold it down on the opposite side. But the yellow and the white yarn, you can just pop through really easily and quickly, and you don't even need to use your opposite hand on the other side. So here's what my finished piece looked like. I'm just going to detach it from the wooden frame, take out all of those staples. You can absolutely leave this as like a really cool piece of artwork if you want, but I wanted to turn mine into a pillow. So I've got just another scrap piece of fabric here. I've got my bad sides facing out. I'm going to stitch this together, just making sure that I stitch almost right into the yarn design so that none of that monk's cloth is showing. You flip your piece inside out. I'm going to stuff it, and then that last little hole that I left open so I could flip it inside out, you just hand stitch it closed. This second pillow, so much easier. It's actually a no-sew project. So I found this beautiful piece of nude or natural fabric at the thrift store, I think for around $5, and had this beautiful kind of lace detail on it. I think it was like in the tablecloth section or something. But what I'm going to do is kind of turn it into like a large pillow, along with all of this beautiful nude trim that I picked up at the dollar store a long time ago in a massive package of trim. Trim can be a little bit pricey, so that was a really good find. So how I'm going to do this is actually with hot glue. You can use a sewing machine, absolutely, just showing you that you can do this with a hot glue gun, especially if you're getting fabric hot glue sticks, which do exist. So I've basically created a pocket there, and this little top flap is folding down over top so that that lace detail can kind of be in the middle or the top third of my pillow. And then I'm just taking all of these pieces of trim and I'm hot gluing them in a little bit of a design along the top to add an extra embellishment, just more detail to this pillow, and I think it makes it look a little more interesting and high end. So here is my completed design. So as you can see, our little pocket here, and then the flap goes down on the top. But what I'm going to do now is just, again, hot glue that top third portion along the edge. And then we still have this very large opening here that you can stuff a pillow inside, and you can change it out whenever you want. So this pillow is a little too fat for this. Because of the design of this pillow, it kind of bulged in the front and it didn't look really good, but I got a smaller pillow and I think this looks beautiful. I am so excited to see how this turns out styled in the bedroom makeover that I plan to do in the next couple of weeks. So definitely make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on that. Let me know what you thought of these pillows, which one was your favorite. Leave that down in the comments below. I am obsessed with this one. It looks great in my living room. Even though I originally made it for the spare bedroom, I might have to make more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's DIY. I'll be back next week with another one.